here at the Stock Exchange today celebrating 2 milestones for Snowflake. 5 years since its blockbuster IPO and 10 years since its product became generally available. Well, joining me now are 2 leaders who have shaped Snowflake's journey. Denise Persson, Chief Marketing Officer, and Chris Degnan, Founding Salesperson. Denise and Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Super exciting to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Kristen.
So happy to have you join us here at the Stock Exchange today. In fact, you both have captured your journey and Snowflake's growth in a new book called Make It Snow. We'll talk about that book. I want to first ask what these milestones mean to you.
I joined Snowflake almost 12 years ago, and never in my wildest imaginations did I ever think that it would be the company it is. To have us up here in the New York Stock Exchange, to go public, to have the largest software IPO ever is just so surreal. So it's so exciting to see how we grew with our customers and really how the company has grown to what it is today. Such an awesome company.
What would you say, Denise, in terms of celebrating this milestone? What does it mean to you?
No, just super amazing to be here. And we did our IPO back in the COVID days, so we were all sitting at home in our yoga pants, right, during the IPO. So it's super special to be here in person. I mean, it's a huge milestone to go public for all companies, but we were always reminded by our CEO back then, Frank Slootman, is that, oh, this is just a milestone and a special time, but what's most important is really what's coming next. So being here now 5 years later, at that point 5 years ago we had done 130 million that quarter, and we have crossed now well over $1 billion per quarter. So it's really the celebration, I think, is really about that journey from 5 years ago to now. So
yeah, an impressive journey, absolutely. And of course, you mentioned, Chris, earlier that this was the biggest software IPO that Wall Street had ever seen. What were some of the key decisions or turning points that led to this growth?
Well, I think early on we focused on our values, and I think the number one value we put out there was putting our customers first. And the organization, the sales organization that I built alongside with my partner in marketing with Denise, was we were hyper focused on acquiring new customers and making them super successful. So we were really early on in the consumption business model. Not a lot of companies did consumption, maybe Amazon did, and that was about it. So we drove a new business model. We drove a hyper focus on making our customers successful and a hyper focus on growing our customer base. And that's really, I think, what we built from an organization. And my partner in Denise, she helped me do that. So I think it was just magic in a bottle for us.
And we've been extremely fortunate to sell and market an incredible product, built by our founders, as well. And from the very early on, they had this focus on making it incredibly easy to use. And that has really also been kind of the foundation for our success. It's incredibly easy to implement, to use Snowflake, and you get tremendous business value quickly.
Illuminated behind us here is the new book called Make It Snow, and this captures the essence of the journey. Denise, what do readers learn in this book?
I mean, the book is really written for entrepreneurs, founders, sales, marketing, leaders. And we're taking them behind the scenes, really what went on from the day when Chris joined as employee 13. This was well before the product was even ready. There was not even a website. There was really nothing to sell, but he was there to start selling. And it's really all the way from that journey in stealth mode now to Snowflake being almost in a 5 billion. And we really talk about the things that we did at every step of the journey. I mean, the mistakes, we did, the successes we had, the hard times. We're really sharing what was really going on, behind the scenes on a daily basis.
What does it capture about the working relationship between marketing and sales, and how crucial that can be?
Frank Slootman, who was our CEO when we went public, Snowflake became famous, and a lot of startup CEOs wanted both Denise and I to advise them. And Frank had this famous saying, like, I'd have to go and ask Frank, hey, this company wants me to be an advisor, and can I do that? And he's like, you absolutely should, because you'll see how screwed up other companies are. And I'm like, okay, Frank, whatever. And sure enough, the thing that I learned during that time as being an advisor is a lot of sales and marketing departments are at each other's throats. And I think that's a huge mistake. A lot of founding CEOs want to see that friction. They want to say, hey, Denise, you're responsible for the MQLs. Chris, you're responsible for driving the forecast, and wants that natural friction. we didn't have that friction, or if we did, we solved it ourselves. And I think like Denise looked at my organization as her customer. And I think she came in and said, Chris, I don't want to talk about MQLs. I just want to talk about qualified meetings and making sure that we make your sales reps productive. And that was one of those like, oh my gosh, like what a great partner to come in and immediately say that and lean in. So I think that's what really one of the core messages that we give during the book is that we really encourage founding CEOs and CEOs in general to create this symbiotic relationship between sales and marketing. And that's a lot of what we talk about in some of the things that we did to build that relationship.
I think most time sales and marketing leaders, they have the best intention from the beginning, but something goes wrong along the way, right? You think you have the same priority, but instead you go out and executing on different things, and it's such a big, waste. And also today, right, speed of execution is such a key differentiator, especially in this world we're in today. With AI, we're seeing, right, how quickly companies are growing and rising. That really requires, everyone in your company to work as one team towards one mission every day. And that's hard, but you need leaders who are really focused on really driving that focus, alignment, and teamwork, every day. And that's been so ingrained in our culture as a company, not just across sales and marketing, but across the entire company. And it's always been that extreme focus on the customer and helping them solve their biggest challenges.
You mentioned the customer and how important it is to put the customer first. How did that guide your go-to-market strategy?
It really was everything. I think just since the beginning of Snowflake, our founders, I mean, I'll give them 100% credit. I remember interviewing with them. As Denise said, I showed up and there was no website, no customers. And the founders said to me, which kind of got me, is they said, all I want to do is create a great product that people use. And they want to make customers super happy. They didn't care about being CEO. They didn't care about even managing any people. And so to me, that's the kind of the nexus of like what began our values of building Snowflake. So as we built our customer base, as I would bring them customers, there were customers that wanted certain feature sets. And if they felt those feature sets would actually deliver value to all of our customers, they were all in, and they would help build those products and those features. So it really is the founders that really started that, and then we kind of embraced that and helped build the go-to-market organization around that.
I think also we always listen deeply to our customers. I mean, we've really been a true business partner to our customers, and also our whole business model, our pricing model with a consumption-based model. We are only successful as a company if the customer is successful, because they only pay for what they use. It's been always that customer at the center of everything. And just 2 weeks ago, Morgan Stanley announced Snowflake as their most strategic, technology vendor. That's a testament, right, to that incredible focus we always have on the customer success. I remember all the different leadership meetings we sat in, and sometimes they were hard decisions where we would lose a lot of revenue for making this decision. We always made the decision that was in the right interest of the customer, even if it was for Snowflake losing a lot of money at that time. So it was great to see really how a strong culture can really be that foundation for customer centricity.
It's great insight that you've been sharing with us here. What do you think are some of the biggest lessons that business people can take away from this book?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like I said earlier, is number one is like find a sales and marketing leader that actually are business partners. I think that's number one, is like, hey, we're in this together. This isn't this adversarial relationship. I think number one. I think number two is listen to your customers. I think what we talked about earlier is do not think that you know better than your customer. Your customer has really valid input on like some of the challenges that you're helping them solve. So that's really the values that we brought to building our organization, was putting our customer first, listening, and then really delivering on those results. So I think, to me, it's have a good partnership between sales and marketing, have a great culture at the company, hold each other accountable, and it can be a lot of fun. And we had a lot of fun building the company.
It should be a lot of fun, building a company. I can only echo that. Really focus on really develop a strong culture that has that relentless focus on the customer success. You don't want to build a product that is chasing a problem, right? You want to build a product that is really, solving a huge problem. So relentless focus on the customer and really invest a lot in driving that alignment across your entire organization. So you all work towards one mission every single day. Then
Denise?
you might end up here one day.
Yes, exactly, right? Such a blockbuster IPO, biggest software IPO that we had seen on Wall Street. Denise and Chris, thank you so much for sitting down with me, and congratulations on not just the Snowflake milestones, but the book as well.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.